Good afternoon, family and friends and YouTube subscribers. Today is May 12th of 2015. It's a Tuesday. It's about 3 o'clock, almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Over the weekend, two police officers were killed in Oxford, Mississippi, and there were 4 people who were arrested. So 4 people were arrested after 2 Mississippi police officers were killed during a traffic stop. Law enforcement officials in Mississippi say Sunday that they had arrested 4 people after the fatal shooting of 2 police officers in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and that 2 of the suspects have been charged with capital murder, meaning they probably will face the death penalty. The officers were shot about 8 p.m. Saturday during a traffic stop. The police say they later died at a local hospital. Police officers identified the officers as Benjamin Dean, 34, a K-9 police officer, and Lakari Tate, 25, a 2014 graduate of the police academy and an African-American man, a young man. One of their police cars was stolen after the shooting and found abandoned a few blocks away. The Mississippi Department of Public Safety announced on Sunday that Marvin Banks and Joni Calloway, 22, had each been charged with 2 counts of capital murder, and that Mr. Banks' brother, Curtis Banks, 26, has been charged with 2 counts of accessory after the fact of capital murder. In a news conference on Sunday afternoon, the mayor of Hattiesburg, Johnny L. DePriest, said a 4th suspect has been arrested. He was identified as Cornelius Clark, 28. Officials said Mr. Clark, who was charged with obstruction of justice, had been a passenger in the vehicle at the time of the shooting. I'm not sure what took place that led up to the shooting, why they felt they had to kill these 2 police officers. But I am a little disappointed, very disappointed, how the African American community has responded. And how they responded, they've said nothing. I haven't seen anything really mentioned on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. I haven't heard any of the people from the Black Lives Matter movement make a comment. I haven't heard anything from Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson. None of these so-called civil rights leaders have come forward. I mean, you have a young African-American kid who was shot by these other thugs and killed, and an older white man, well, middle-aged white guy, who's 30-something. I'm 45, so. But it broke my heart because I have a lot of respect for police officers because I know it's a very tough job that they do. And whenever I hear of a police officer being shot and killed, it's heartbreaking to me because they got up that morning going to do a job just like anyone else going to a 9 to 5. But they put their lives at risk, and sometimes events like what took place Saturday in Oxford, Mississippi, in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, is what turned these officers end up dead. And these officers have families, they have wives, they have kids, they have mothers and fathers. They have the same things that we all have. And they don't deserve to be shot and killed during the line of work. And I can imagine that these 2 officers lost their lives over nothing. Let's say that those guys were in a stolen car. Okay, they would have been charged with a stolen car. Let's say they even had some drugs in the car. So what? Unless it was such a huge amount of drugs, those officers did not deserve to be shot and killed for a traffic stop. Something, I don't know what to say, but it's very disappointing that the black community, the African American community, the Black American community has not said anything. But I have seen some negative comments. I saw when some lady, a subway worker, rejoiced at these 2 officers' deaths. I was thinking, is she serious? When I look at the situation between our police in America today, thousands, you all have to realize something. There are hundreds of thousands of arrests every day. Millions of tickets written. Police dealing with thousands, if not millions of people daily. How many of those situations end in abuse? Very small, minor amount of people are caught up in some situation with a police officer and ends in where the police officer has to kill someone. Very, very small amount. So all this anger towards the police from the black community, to me, I think is fruitless. The average African American will have dealings with the police and they will walk away fine with no issues. I've been dealing with the police for years. Been arrested, been to jail, been to prison, been handcuffed, been to court. Traffic tickets, just had a traffic ticket of $189. And I never had an issue with the police. Never. Even when I was acting a fool, and I will admit that sometimes I was acting a fool. Now still, and then sometimes I could tell y'all some stories where I was dead wrong, and those police officers assisted me anyway and actually helped me. So I can't run around here with this anger towards the police because of a few minor incidents that's taken place. So many people are running around here marching and screaming that these police officers are killing black folks. Well, there are some incidents where the police have abused their power, killed or injured some black people, but that's not an everyday occurrence. I mean, it's not happening on a large scale, by no means. So we have to ask ourselves, when we see officers being shot and killed and we don't say anything, I have a problem with that. We don't reach out and say, okay, this cannot continue. We don't march and protest to protect them. Something's kind of strange here. But we want to be protected, but we don't want to protect them. Some people are literally, the comments I've read turned my stomach that some people were actually rejoicing in these two officers' deaths. I'm just thinking, I don't understand this ignorance. I don't get it. Sad. Those officers deserve the same amount of love and respect that we want. They deserve it too. I don't know what happened in Mississippi that day, but I don't understand and cannot comprehend why that man made the decision to kill those two police officers. What did he think was going to happen to him that he felt he needed to shoot and kill those officers? Something's not right with this picture. And more likely that young man who did that shooting is going to end up in the death penalty down in Mississippi, because they don't play in Mississippi. They're going to send his ass straight to death row. He's going to fry for the death of those two police officers. And it goes back to what I said earlier. All this, he killed those two police officers over most likely nothing. They maybe would have impounded the car. They probably would have went to jail and been out back today. But some reason he made a decision to shoot and kill. Well, he was a convicted felon. He had those guns. But even then, he still would have been receiving, got a bond, and been out. Now he's created a problem far, far worse than he can possibly imagine that he won't be able to get out of. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he's high. I don't understand it. But I do know that those officers lost their lives over nothing. And they should be here alive today. And people, we need to stand up and support these officers when these events happen. If we want change to happen, then we also have to be able to stand up and fight for the people who we want change to happen for too. We want to fight against the police abuse, but we don't want to stand up when the police are being victimized and abused and killed. This is just my opinion. It broke my heart hearing that news story over the weekend about those two officers. One officer was so young, I couldn't believe it. I even went to their Facebook pages and I was just in shock. I just hate what took place, because it all took place over absolutely nothing. If you like my videos, please click like, share them with family members and friends. I look forward to reading you all's comments. What do you think about the situation that took place in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and the tragic death of these two police officers? And why were some people rejoicing? I don't understand that. Anyway, I'm out of here. Enjoy your Tuesday, and have a great afternoon.